Science, philosophy, religion, all in the normal Stephen Hawking sense. Secondary title, How I Got Stalked Today and the Person Ran Away When I Said, Okay, you're recorded. Science seems to have uncovered a set of laws that, within the limits set by the uncertainty principle, tell us how the universe will develop with time, if we know its state at any one time. These laws may have originally been decreed by God, but it appears that they have since left the universe to evolve according to them, and does not now intervene in it. But how did he choose the initial state or configuration of the universe? What were the boundary conditions at the beginning of time? He said this in a book as a thought experiment about an omnipotent being, and taking that as factual, and let's start from there, because that's how many people see things. He said, as an apologist, while in the presence of the Pope in 2008 at an event, the laws may have been decreed by God, but God does not intervene to break the laws, very tacitly saying that that's if there's a God. Philosophy is dead. Philosophers have not kept up with modern developments in science. In 2011, he also said, philosophical problems can be answered by science, particularly new scientific theories, leading us to a new and very different picture of the universe and our place in it. Scientists have become the bearers of the torch of discovery and our quest for knowledge. He's not religious. And like me, he has a distaste. Philosophy is a leftover where we're trying not to say, your stuffy-headed BS has got to go to the side, and you need to learn how to operate a particle accelerator, or at least observe things, instead of pontificating what things ought to be. This is really not much different. I have no patience for philosophers. When they're talking about human interaction, or society and culture, just like with religion, it's perfectly fine. As long as they're within the constraints of reality, we're fine. But anyway, let's go on to the next part. Stephen Hawking's opinion that the universe is governed by the laws of science because there is a law such as gravity. The universe can and will create itself from nothing. Spontaneous creation is the reason there is something rather than nothing, why the universe exists and why we exist. It is not necessary to invoke God to light the blue torch paper and set the universe a-going. And there is a fundamental difference between religion, which is based on authority, and authoritarianism. The specter of a omnipotent being punishing you in a country that has a Church of England for saying outright as a professor that you're an atheist, because that's a thing. He's not a covert religious person, he's a covert atheist. I'm adding that part in, but that's the situation he comes from. In some parts of this world, you can be legally, many groups want to legally harass you because they have Sharia law or Christian law that they want to push. Some people don't even bother with that and just go ahead and do it. For instance, a few minutes ago, about within striking distance, someone came in here and said, "What's up?" Because I'm discussing the opinions of Stephen Hawking. That was an incredibly stupid tactical move, and if the guy's watching, don't ever do that again. But if you're going to do it, please punch me in the face. I love watching people look at their hand and go, because they don't know why everything broke. But anyway, here we go. Between religion, being authority-based, versus science, which is based on observation and reason. Science isn't something created to get rid of religion. If that's the effect of it, and your religion is so weak that that can happen, that's like complaining about your buggy whip going out of style because someone doesn't need it anymore because there's no horses anymore, they just drive a car. It's an effect. It wasn't done to get rid of the buggy whip, it's just that it's not needed. By the way, buggy whips are used for something very, very different these days. Please don't look up that. Anyway, next. Science keeps winning because it works. It's useful. It has an effect. In the past, religion was useful because it would hold communities and cultures and villages together. But it was based on authoritarianism in many cases. And you can decide that it isn't, but that's the effect it had. You can still have it, but it can't be that old-time religion. It has to adapt to the times. And because people leave, very well-educated, scientifically literate people don't believe in supernatural explanations for things because they know that they're natural, real explanations for them. So they're not supernatural occurrences. Tornadoes aren't magic. They're an effect. So praying them away doesn't work when you really should just try to change your environment to make them less likely. Good luck with that Central United States Tornado Alley. With regards to the concept of heaven, he believes it as a myth. There is no heaven or afterlife, and that such a notion was a fairy story for people afraid of the dark. Now, I wouldn't say that. We all want to know where we came from, what we're supposed to do, and where we're going. But it is, I tend to agree with this. I'm totally with him on philosophy in that way, in what I've only just the piece I've talked about. Someone quote mined a bunch of things, so I'm responding to it. So I'm going to do the quotes here, but that one's a little over the top. When narrating the first episode of the American television series Curiosity on the Discovery Channel, Hawking declared, "We are each free to believe what we want. And it's my view, it's his opinion, that the simplest explanation is there's no God. Because it is. Occam's razor says that there doesn't have to be a God. No one created the universe, no one directs our fate. This leads me to profound realization there's probably no heaven or afterlife either. We have this one life to appreciate the grand design of the universe. And for that, I am extremely grateful." In September 2014, he finally felt comfortable enough to come out of the closet and say that he's an atheist. Now, remember the context. You can be denied a position at a university just for not believing in a God. Do you know why? Because the authority of the government in England is from God, and saying there is no God means that you're saying the Queen doesn't have a right to rule. Did you understand what I just said? Welcome to America, where you can get elected president by saying you're an atheist. It's just that a lot of people are going to refuse to elect you anyway, because it's considered hubris. Right? There may or may not be a God. But constantly pounding it down my throat that I have to invoke God, I refuse. That's not acceptable. It's you just bullying someone and doing a poor job of it because you need a big brother or a big daddy to make it stick. I'm not going to burn in hell because someone decided that I need to repent because I'm saying the truth and telling them not to watch Steve Olson's channel when he lies. I'm not the one who needs to repent. This is the reason, these are the reasons, and I'm bringing up the one about England especially, of why people, if you tell people you have to, yay or nay, you have to say you believe in a God or not. If you push people, they will refuse to believe in a God just because that's the best answer, or maybe because they're being defiant. If you want people to just go along, you need to kind of soft pedal this stuff. The hard sell never works with people like me. And someone deciding that they're going to pick a fight with me in a coffee shop in an enclosed space with so much glass to throw someone through, that was stupid. I think we need to have tactics training in classes in school. A lot fewer slappy, slappy, slappy fights that look so bad would happen. All because someone heard me do. I'm reading someone else's quotes and adding my tiny little bit to it. Why did someone invoke this meme of Stephen Hawking being a covert religious person when he was really a covert atheist? Because it's defiant of reality and infuriates people who give a dang about reality and facts. That's the primary reason. Second reason. Contrarianism, just saying the opposite of what's happening. This is a pathological behavior with a lot of people. Next, because it'll get page views. If you put Stephen Hawking in the title, it's like CERN and Large Hadron Collider, and I'll do that in this video. I'll put in Large Hadron Collider and a bunch of other stuff if I want to. It gets people's attention. Anyway, he declared, because after a while he had to, himself an atheist, and he stopped being an apologist. And that could have had consequences. Probably still does. Are there consequences to calling yourself a religious person? Yeah, some people will make all sorts of stupid assumptions about you. You can be a religious person and be smart. It doesn't mean you're stupid, and it doesn't mean you just follow. It's a cultural thing. We have Christmas. The only thing negative about Christmas, in my opinion, is them not turning off the annoying music. Maybe the guy who was trying to intimidate me was mad about me making the comment before that Starbucks needs to stop playing Christmas music during Christmas. I'm getting to the point that I hate Christmas. Stop it. Seriously, what the hell? It's a sales thing now. It's not even Christmas. Oh, and Josh Fierstein, shut up. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Good luck with that.